So what's going on YouTube? This is rdapdan. We got a few videos posted on there now about going to federal prison, getting out of federal prison. I posted that video prior to going to federal prison, not really thinking anybody was going to see it. I mean, I assumed some people would see it, but I didn't really think a lot of people would see it. So when I got out and saw the views and comments and posts and emails that I received, it was, kind of cool and overwhelming at the same time. Since then, it's only been a couple months. I decided to post additional videos just because that one actually did pretty well. It's gotten like close to 13,000 views, and I don't know, I've got like 70 subscribers, and people are posting on there, so it's kind of neat. I'm seeing there's a lot of people out there that have a lot of questions. I did feel alone when I was facing going to federal prison, and me and my girlfriend Shelly, we didn't really have anybody to talk to about it. We spoke to our attorneys, but the information we got from them was limited, probably partly because their information and their knowledge was limited of what actually happens once you turn yourself in. With these videos, I'm noticing kind of boring. Even for me to watch them myself, it's kind of boring. So I've been doing some Googling and how to spice up the videos and put some cuts in here to make them more entertaining for the viewers and to keep you guys on the page. I'm going to start putting more effort into these, making them more informational, more educational. It would help if you guys have some questions regarding federal prison, being there, getting out, halfway house, getting a job, all these things that you might be concerned about or have thoughts about. You might have a question that you think you're the only one in the world with that question. You're going to be going into the Rdap program once you get into prison, and you want to know what Rdap is all about. How does it work? How do you get into it? Questions like that. Where do you get to wear these fancy Rdap bracelets and fancy Rdap lanyards you get? Pretty cool MP3 player. Well, you don't get an MP3 player. You actually have to spend money and buy the MP3 player. Federal, it's your ID. You get to carry around with you. You have to have it everywhere you go. You go to chow, you got to show it and run it through this little machine. Halfway house gives you a real shitty cell phone. They don't give you a cell phone. You got to go buy a cell phone. But no internet is allowed on the cell phone. Text and calls only. That's a picture of my dog. I want to make this educational. I want to make this interesting at the same time. 42 months in federal prison. That was my sentence for conspiracy to distribute oxycodone. I worked at a pain clinic. The doctor was blamed. What's the word I'm looking for? See, this is where the editing will come in handy. I'm going to use the editing. Jump cuts. That's the new word. Word of the day. Jump cuts. Jump cuts. Jump cuts. The doctor was charged with overprescribing patients pain medicine that they didn't need, basically running an illegal doctor's office. And because I worked there, my girlfriend worked there, and my best friend worked there, and we all got charged with conspiracy, saying we knew something was going on and we did nothing about it. At the time, I didn't really think the doctor was breaking any laws, so to speak. The patients did have valid MRIs when they came in, so I didn't really feel like it was my job to determine whether or not a patient was there drug seeking or if a patient was there because they had legitimate pain. I wasn't the one hired to dictate that. So I thought that was kind of on the doctor, so I used that as an excuse to absolve myself from any responsibility. The feds had other plans for me. Indicted us all, basically put our backs to the wall and said, you want to go to trial? We're charging you with crazy conspiracy and wire fraud and RICO Act and all kinds of stuff, and we're looking at 20, 30 years in federal prison. Or we've got this really good plea we'll offer you where you'll do a max of 60 months, could be a minimum of 0. So your scale slides from looking at 20 to 30 years, best case to worst case scenario, 15 years worst case, or best case, 30 years worst case, which either one of those sounds like a fucking death sentence to me, or 0 months to 60 months worst case scenario. So door number 1 or door number 2. Fought it, went back and forth, waiting, getting more information, trying to fight it, trying to find attorneys, spending money, freaking out, stressing out. Ended up taking a plea for 60 months max, got sentenced, did 42 months, qualified for the Rdap program, got a year off for Rdap, 6 months off for good time. The last 11 months that I had to do, they gave it to me in halfway house. So I actually served 13 months in federal prison, and I have 11 months that I'm doing in federal halfway house, and I've almost got 2 of that down, so 9 months to go. And halfway house is the worst. The people there, when I say people, the people that work there, they don't really give a shit. Some of them do, some of them don't. You stay out of their way, they stay out of your way. If you want to make it easier on yourself, just follow the rules. You're never going to win an argument. Don't use drugs in there. Don't drink in there. You may get away with it once or twice. You've so used to getting away with it, boom, surprise. Come inside, let's do a piss test or a breath test, or they shake down your locker and find something somebody tells on you. It's just not worth it, especially if you're an Rdap. If you're an Rdap and you got the year off and you're doing your halfway house, if you screw up in the halfway house and you go back, boom, they take your year of Rdap back as well. So you could be looking at some serious time. No fun. Follow the freaking rules, man. Get a job. If you want to go on home confinement, get a fucking job. Do not sit in there and pretend like you're trying to find a job. Find a fucking job. J-O-B, job. That's your key to getting out of the halfway house onto home confinement. You can't do more than 10% of your prison sentence on home confinement. So if you're in prison right now, and there right now, you're probably not watching the video. If your friends or family are wondering if you're going to get out of home confinement, and you're watching the video for your friend in prison or your loved one in prison, thinking, man, I hope they send them straight to home confinement, not going to happen. 10% of your prison sentence can be done at home confinement. You get a year halfway house, which, woohoo, sounds great, right? I was happy. I got 11 months halfway house. So excited to get 11 months halfway house. Man, I thought maybe I'll do a month, 2 months halfway house, and they're going to send me home. I started my halfway house in October 2015. My last 4.5 months roughly, I can do in home confinement because I was sentenced to 42 months. The most confusing thing about all this, and probably the same question you're having, is it seems like whenever you ask somebody something, they just don't give you a fucking answer. They don't give you an answer to your question. Thanks for the answer, but that's not really what I was fucking asking. While I was in prison, probation came to visit us, asked them a million questions, and it was the same thing. It's like, how do you get a straight fucking answer? I promise you, any questions you ask me, I will give you a straight fucking answer. I have an interest in doing this for 2 reasons. One, it's a lot of fun. You guys will help me make better videos by critiquing them. I got some crazy email from some guy, Jay, telling me to jazz up my videos because they're really informational. But how's he supposed to learn anything if he can't stay awake for watching my videos? First, I got a little pissed off and I'm going to write Jay a nice fuck you email. But posting these videos, so I have to accept the feedback. Rdap taught me that. So if Jay thinks my videos are shitty, he must have a reason for thinking that. So Jay, if you're watching, I'm going to jazz it up and I'm not upset. Thanks to you, I might get some additional views at it. Blog post, I don't know what that means. Jump cut, I don't know what that means either. But when you guys watch this video, there's going to be jump cuts in it, which means I have learned how to do it. Prison, halfway house, love, relationships, children, all that stuff. It's very overwhelming. You got to take one day at a time. Be calm, be relaxed. Tell your family you love them. Send them emails, send them letters. Don't freak out when they don't email you or don't send you letters. Believe it or not, they actually have lives. Their lives do not stop and they do not revolve around you. That's for you, Miss Neesmith. Miss Neesmith was my Rdap DTS, drug treatment specialist at Coleman Low. In case any of you are going to Coleman prison, you've got Coleman Camp, which is only for women. So if you're a female and you're being designated to Coleman and on your BOP website it says Coleman Medium, don't freak out. That's just some kind of a fuck up on their part. You are definitely 100% going to the camp because they don't have anything else for women there. So if you're a guy and you're going to either Coleman Low or Coleman Medium, things would be pretty sweet. Pen 1 and Pen 2. Can't help you there. I don't really have any insight. You're probably going to get shanked or beat up unless you're in like a really tough gang and got some good street creds. If you got some good street credit, you might last in Pen 1 or Pen 2. Pen 1, strictly political. It's all gangs and violence, fucking shakedowns and concussion grenades going off all day long. You're walking the yard on the low, boom, that's a concussion grenade going off. Get on the ground. You can hear this stuff. And if you don't get on the ground, then you hear gunshots, and that means somebody probably got shot and killed. Pen 2, that's the reject pen. If you went to Pen 2, it's because you probably tried to get out of your gang, or you're a snitch, or you're a chomo. Chomo is like child molestation pictures. Like Jared from Subway, he's a fucking show. There's a lot of child molesters. Child pornography is a federal crime once you start sending stuff over the internet, so that makes it feds. That's why a lot of these guys go feds instead of state. Most lows are considered protective custody facilities. You either go there because of your points and your violence. So if you've got real low points and real low violence and you're not a severe criminal, you're going to go to a low or a camp. My video is now officially 17 minutes long, so we're going to see how long this thing is when I'm done with it. I lost a lot of weight in prison. I lost 65 pounds. I got in pretty good shape. Keep saying I'm going to make a video on that. Haven't done it yet, so we're going to make a video of me doing some burpees and some hardcore prison exercise. My girlfriend likes them. I got her doing some of them. It's actually pretty good shit, I'm not going to lie. Take it serious and you're in there and you're not fucking around with drugs and other stuff. It all starts with the body and mind, so start reading some good books and start exercising and eating right. I find myself bitching and complaining every day. Even now, I'm like, damn it, I ran out of coffee. Oh, I got an ankle monitor on now. Here's my ankle monitor. It's GPS. They know where I am within 15 feet. So that's my video. And I hope you guys enjoy, and definitely subscribe, like my video, share my video. So with that said, I'm going to put my lanyard on here and sign off for now. Prison Dan, inmate number 02773-104.